Oh, hello, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Jill Cox Cordova, and I'm your host of Wait With Me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you've never been here before, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the show where I talk about my weight loss journey, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. I talk about it all. And I also rely on you to be my accountability partners. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Sweetheart, because my phone is turned horizontally, I can't see who all is in the audience. Can you tell me, please? Just so I can
You
welcome
can't tell,
everyone?
you can't look
I
sideways.
could go like this.
Well, it's okay, but it's Cara and Mary and
Hi,
Julie
hi,
and
Carrie and
Georgia
Mary
from
and
Hawaii
Julie
and
and Georgia.
Daisy
I
is
hope all is
here.
well in your state. I hope all is well. And I'm sorry I missed it after Georgia.
And Georgia is Daisy.
Hi,
After
Daisy.
yes, Daisy, you know Daisy
I
very
do know
well.
Daisy very well.
And wow, Julie Ann, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I believe it is.
Okay.
But if I screwed that up, I apologize.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm so excited that you're all here. It just makes me feel great. I'm feeling great. I always start the show by telling you how things have been in the 2 weeks since you last saw me. I do this show every other week. And in the 2 weeks that you last saw me, I was inspired by the guest I had on my last show. Her name is Elaine. And at that point, Elaine had lost 42 pounds. And I'm in touch with Elaine. I actually know Elaine. And I think she's closer to have lost 50 pounds now. So I was quite inspired by her story. She did it through intermittent fasting, which, if you've been watching this show in replay or if you've been here with me live, I've been talking about that since November. That's what I've been doing to lose weight. And if you don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's where you have a window, and in my case, an 8-hour window to have all your meals, but you don't go crazy with it. You still eat healthy, and you get all your meals in the 8 hours, and then you fast for 16 hours. So, and you can decide when that 8-hour period starts. So, for example, I used to do it as my first meal as early as 7. I start my workday at 8, and so I would eat at 7. But lately, for the past, well, since I have resumed it, for a while I got off of it. Since I've resumed it, I start my first meal between 9 and 10 a.m., just so that I can eat later in the day when the rest of my household eats. I do like to have dinner with my husband when I can. And if you don't know, Tony, my producer, is my husband. So we're in this together. So, since the last time you saw me, I resumed the intermittent fasting, but I changed what time that first meal was. I also have just been feeling better, except for a sinus infection that I think I have. So if I sound congested, I am, and I'm just now. I just Today is the first day I haven't had the sinus headache that comes with that. And I never had a sinus issue until I moved to Georgia. I say that all the time. Sorry, Georgia, the state. Um, but it's true. I've lived all over the country and did not have a sinus issue till I moved here. But anyway, that's how things have gone the last couple of weeks. But that is not tonight's episode. So I want to talk about what tonight's episode is about in my first segment that I call This is the Deal.
This is the deal. This is the deal.
If you know how to use the emoticons where you can tap on reactions, by applause, the clap emoticon, tell me how many of you are on or have been on a weight loss journey. Anybody? Am I the only one here? Okay, I see it. Thank you. Okay. Well, then you probably already know that the trick to weight loss doesn't, it starts with your mind, your mindset. In my case, I had to understand here where the root of my weight gain came from. I don't, many of you have not been to this show, but if you go back and listen to the very first show I did of Weight with Me, I go in depth as to what is the root of why I first formed and when I first formed a negative relationship with my body. I will spare you all the details, but that it all started when I was raped just before I graduated from college. It all started then because my rapist said I had a great body, and after that, I didn't want to have a great body. I know. That's twisted, I know. But I thought if I didn't have a great body anymore, I would never be someone's target like that again. I would never be assaulted about that, like that again. So I've had therapy. So I'm good now. But I actually had to go to therapy to figure out when I started forming a negative relationship with my own body image and what I thought of my body as. And once I was able to zero in on that and remember it, I blocked it out for many years. Remember it as the trauma that it was, I was able to then tackle it. Because if you know what you're dealing with, it's like having any medical diagnosis. If you're sick, but you don't know why and you don't know what it is, you're much better equipped to handle it once someone tells you what it is. And then you could have a treatment plan. So in my case, my understanding the root of my weight gain led to my then, okay, I am mentally better now, emotionally better now. So let's be physically better now because it was actually affecting my health. So my weight loss journey has never been about cosmetics. It's been about my mental journey as well as my health. I needed to restore my health. So it's an ongoing journey. That's a lifetime journey, right? So that's how the mindset has affected me. I have to know it here to affect any other part of my body, and that's how that all started. But I'm going to take a really sharp right on this topic and talk to Tony about mindset and weight loss because Tony has said several times to me, and he can back it up. He can actually do this. That when he sets his mind to losing weight, he does it. He can do it just from the mind. So Tony, I need to understand how you do this. Please teach me.
Oh my. Oh boy. Well, while I think about that, I just want to let you know that you have some more people in your audience.
Oh, who do we have
and
now?
that is Deborah is here.
Hi,
and
Deborah.
Emily is here.
Hi, Emily.
And Sabine is here.
Hi, Sabine.
And Kyla
Hi.
is here. But wait.
Oh,
there's one more person.
There's one more.
Stefan is here.
Stefan, hi. For those of you who don't know, I absolutely love Stefan, and I've missed you, Stefan. So hi, and I love you all, but I actually know Stefan. So, so anyway, okay. Do you have an answer to my question?
Yes, and I really feel like you're putting me on the spot.
Of course.
And the reason
That's what
being,
I do.
I don't want to come off like I'm making light of, losing weight, because it tends to be easy for me. But losing weight tends to be easier for men than women, in the first place, for some reason. Well, there's many reasons, but but with me, there's several things that make it easier for me to lose weight. So one thing from the very start is I do not have a love affair with food.
Neither do I. I know that may sound, you know, like I'm joking about it, but I'm not actually a foodie. I'm actually a very picky eater. It's just that I use food for comfort,
Okay,
and that's the problem,
yeah, and
or one of the problems.
I don't really do that, but yes, I'm an extremely picky eater. Been that way since
Yes,
I
you are
was a
actually a
child.
pickier eater than me,
And
and that's hard to do.
well, you know, certain foods actually would trigger a gag reflex for me, just the
Mm.
taste of it. Um, so uh, so that's one thing. The other thing is that when I turned 38 years old, I became a diabetic. So that
And for the audience who doesn't know, how old are you now?
I'm
Do you
not
remember?
38.
Do you remember how old you are now?
I think I'm 64.
You are
I
64.
think.
Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. I do know I don't look it though. I don't
You
I
you
don't
don't.
look.
You don't.
So yes, so when I became a diabetic, a type 2 diabetic, and I wasn't really overweight then either. Well, I was overweight. I would say I was probably um 15 to 18 pounds overweight when I was
So
diagnosed.
you weren't
No, actually,
BMI wise, you were overweight, you weren't obese.
correct. Correct. I was overweight, but when I uh found out I was diabetic, I lost like, not because of the diabetes, I lost like 25 pounds in 2 weeks
Oh my goodness.
because I was sick.
Right.
But becoming a diabetic meant that there were so many more things now that I couldn't eat. So I don't need to be eating donuts and all of that.
And
So from the very beginning,
But I also know
uh,
that you like rice and bread. How has that been as a diabetic?
well, I used to be able to get away with eating more bread than now. So now I don't eat much bread either, and I have to keep cutting things out. So cutting out carbohydrates and all of that. And then I'm still,
To lose those 10 pounds, I'm going to do my weights for 5 minutes a day, and then in 2 weeks, those 10 pounds are gone. I've seen you do that,
well, yeah,
and it's
because,
frustrating to me.
well, I actually really, because I'm not a dieter and I'm not a person that likes exercise. The only exercise I do like is riding my bike, but then I haven't done that in
Years.
years. I got it out once, maybe 6 months ago, to make sure I could still ride my bike, and then that was supposed to be the beginning of me riding on the regular. And when I do ride a bike on the regular, the pounds just come off. But if I'm not riding a bike and I just need to lose weight, I really change my mindset and I watch more closely what I eat, when I eat, because I don't really change my diet much.
Well, because you're
So
already not eating very
yeah,
many foods.
so I have to eat breakfast, and some weight loss programs, they say you don't have to eat breakfast, but I take certain medications, so I have to eat breakfast. So I'll make sure the breakfast I eat doesn't have a lot of carbohydrate, and actually don't eat, when I'm in that mood, I don't eat bacon at all during the week with my breakfast, and so I do that, but then I also or mindful of what I snack if I snack. I try to become more active. So, not necessarily doing more exercise, but I try to find strenuous work for me to do.
You often do find that.
Yeah.
That is true.
So,
Okay, so last question.
well, as one more thing, the last thing I try not to do is I try to eat at 6 in the evening and try not to eat after that.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That kind of works with intermittent fasting too. Like whatever that cutoff period of your eating window is, like it never goes late into the night unless you just start eating later in the day. Okay, so my last question for you is, what advice do you have for those of us who just can't get to that right mindset? How do we change our mindset?
Well, I actually believe that if you have a problem with changing your mindset, and that can be difficult, change something different then.
Change something else.
Yes. So if you're having a hard time changing your mindset of what you eat, maybe you change your mindset of how active you are. So maybe you start becoming more active. I'd say, well, God, that's just from being that, I've lost weight just from being more active. I wonder what would happen if I changed my diet. So maybe that's more incentive to, then start changing your diet. One thing might fit one person, but not another person. So do what makes you
It's not a one
feel
size fits all. That's for sure.
for what you can handle, I think.
So
think
as
is
you would
best.
say, do something different.
Yeah, do something different. Yeah, because you're not going to get a different result unless you do something different, change something. I will go back into my producer mode.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
Well, this is the part of my show where I usually weigh myself and tell you my measurements, but we've been having technical difficulties in all aspects of doing this show. So I'm not able to do that tonight. However, I will say that I'm feeling better. I feel like my clothes are fitting better. So I feel like the results would have been great. But for me, it's still all about the health. So I am feeling better and things are I'm feeling better. And for me, that's what it's all about. So I will move on to my next segment where you get to talk to me.
Okay, and before we start, we have Angela in the audience now also.
Hi, Angela. Welcome. Thank you for
All right.
coming.
Next segment.
Okay, it's your turn to share.
Okay, so if anyone wants to speak to me, Fireside has changed it where if you see the flame, that's moving, the flame, the animated flame, if you click on that, you can come to the stage. That's an easy way to do it. Or if you just want to type a comment, you can do that by clicking on, I think you have an ask button, if I'm not mistaken, that you can just type your comment in. Either way, I would love to hear from you, see how you're doing and what you're doing. Hi, Daisy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. It's so good to talk to you. I missed you talking to you last week, or the last time I had a show.
I know, I missed you too, but you're looking great.
Thank you.
Despite your sinus problem, you look very healthy.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so just wanted to check in with you and see, what else is going on. If you're exercising at all.
Exercise is exercise, but I'm moving more just because I'm finally leaving my house more often.
No, that's good. That's good. I can't say that I've been exercising myself, so I've been trying to do more stair climbing, like running up and down the stairs. But
that's good. That's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but I haven't been doing it faithfully, so that's about it. And I think I did lose the pounds that I had gained. I've dropped those back, so now I'm looking at
Excellent. Yay. I
having hit a
always
milestone.
applaud
Yeah,
for you. That's wonderful.
so I've hit a milestone. Now it's on to the next one. So I'm gonna buckle down. My sister's coming into town on Friday, so we'll see how this goes. And you know,
Wonderful.
when the sisters come to town, we always eat and eat a
You
lot.
do, but you have figured out a way for the people who haven't heard you talk on this show. Every time you're with your siblings, you figure out a way, whether it's sharing a dish or eating half of it. You always figure out a way to not eat more.
I have been able to do that. I'm gonna see if I can do it this trip too. This sister really likes to eat more than the other one.
Oh, but okay. Then I know which sister you're talking about.
Yeah, so it might be a little bit. I am going to try to exercise. I have a little bit of a lull in my schedule, so there's no reason why, like for the rest of this week and next week, I shouldn't be able to do some yoga.
I really want to get back to yoga, especially since I'm reading more books about fitting yoga into your daily life. So instead of reading it, I should be doing it. Uh, so I really want to get back into yoga just because it always makes me feel great.
Yeah, and it makes me feel more limber, and I
Hmm.
really have been feeling kind of stiff. So,
I can relate. Okay, it's a pact. And
all
if
right,
any other audience member wants to join in, just say you're in or clap or something to say you're in it too, and we'll ask you about it the next time we talk.
all right. Well, it was good talking to
Yay!
you.
You too. Oh, one more question.
Yes,
How's the alcohol consumption?
not great. Um, I have been consuming more vodka, not too much brown liquor, but um, a little more vodka in my diet than I would like. But I have not been doing so well with that. But I have been doing mixed drinks, so like with juices and not just full on vodka calories.
Yep, I understand. We've been hanging with people who like sangria,
Oh
so that's
yeah,
been hard to resist.
yes. But I've moved on from sangria to vodka. The warm weather is past, and I do still have some sangria mixings, but I will probably polish it off. But yeah, so not so great on the alcohol front. But fortunately, my sister that's coming likes wine, so I may go back to the sangria while she's here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All
I'll
right.
have to check on you in a couple of weeks. See how
Okay,
you're
sounds
doing.
good. Sounds good. Take good care.
You too, Daisy. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye. Yay. Okay, would anyone else like to come up, or does anyone else have a like to come up, or
No, I don't believe so.
all right.
So I think we're good.
Okay. Well, let's do the next segment then.
I can do it. I can do it. If I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
Is exactly what Daisy and I just had a pact about. I want to resume doing yoga. So that is my new goal, is to do yoga. She said twice. That's what I'm going to go for. At least twice. So that's my new goal. Yay! Get yoga back into life, into my daily life. I really like yoga. Yay! Okay, so that's the last segment. This is always a 30-minute or less show. I mentioned earlier in this show that we've been experiencing some technical difficulties. And one of those technical difficulties is that we haven't been able to schedule new shows. I do have a new show scheduled for October 11th, and I want to talk about the episode topic is You Are Enough. We're all enough. We're enough, everybody. We're enough. But there's a chance that that show may just go poof um, because of these technical difficulties that we're having. So if all goes well technically, if all goes well technically, I will be back in 2 weeks on October 11th for the episode You Are Enough. Same time, same place. However, if for some reason I see that it lists my website, I will be posting announcements of what I'm going to do instead. If for some reason I can't come back on October 11th. So stay tuned. I hope you do take down my information. Feel free to contact me anyway, regardless of whether I'm making announcements or not. And hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks because I really need you all. I do. I need your accountability partners. And in about an hour, I know for sure that I am doing a show with Tony. It's our show that we host together called I'm Right, I'm Right. And of course, I'm all have dated because we've been married for 17 years and we dated for 2 years before that. But we're aware of the dating scams that are out there and people who just try to con you. So if you want to talk about relationships and have a fun conversation about relationships, join us in about an hour for I'm Right, I'm Right tonight. Okay. So
Okay. Wait.
What?
Breaking news.
What?
Basha is in the audience.
Marsha, I love you. And if you've never seen her show, oh my gosh, you have to. It's fantastic. She's fantastic. She has the best energy ever. So just being around her, being in her space is very special. So thank you for telling me that. I want to say hi.
No problem. Hi, Basha.
Fantastic. And what a talent, too. She's got Broadway expertise. So very talented. And she's always talking to talented people.
Yeah, she said, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You're great accountability partners, and I really, really I honestly can't do this by myself, but I think that's why, we're all here on this planet is to help each other, right? So let's continue to do that. Help somebody tomorrow. Make that your do something different if that's not what you normally do. I want to thank Tony, my producer, Good Day Production, and the music that you heard during the segments is called Real Cool Sunglasses by That Core Beat. I thank you all for being here. I love you all. I really do. And I hope to see you in a couple of weeks, or I hope to see you tonight. But either way,